Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out today's episode of Hardball Sports Talk. My name is Brandon. A couple things real quick here. Today is a very special episode of Hardball Sports Talk. We were very fortunate to have a very unique guest. His name was Tony Todd, or is Tony Todd, I should say. He played second baseman Mickey Scales in the movie Little Big League. Our connection to him was John Minch. We had on the show a few months ago. John put us in contact with a couple other guys from the movie, Tony being one of them. And Tony's been a great guy to get to know. I've been talking with him on and off probably since basically the John Minch episode aired, is when we got into contact with him. And Tony, character guy, one of those guys that he just makes you laugh. He calls me, not even joking with you, he calls me all the time just to chat, and he's a great guy. Him and I have become friends, I would say. One of those guys where I really hope our paths cross and I get to meet him in person someday. He's got some great stories. Some of them he shared in this episode. Some of them I forgot to ask him about, including he ended up with Michael Jordan's baseball bat in the trunk of his car. There's an article online. I'll post that in the description. You guys can check that out. But this is just the type of person we're dealing with here where he knows everybody, or I'm sorry, Tony, everybody knows him. I made that mistake one time. There's a video online talking about the cast of Little Big League. And when they talked about Tony, the person in the video said he knows everybody. And the first time I talked to Tony, I asked him if that was true. He said, nope, everybody knows me. And he didn't mean that in a breaky way. He just is a funny guy. And you'll get that impression from him listening to this interview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And be sure to leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a like anywhere else. Tell your friends about this one. This one is a fun episode. Even if you're not a sports person, you will enjoy this episode, I promise you. Without further ado, here is our interview with Tony Todd.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out today's episode of Hardball Sports Talk. My name is Brandon. Joining me again for the first time in a while is my good friend Alex. And today we have a very special guest for you guys. Tony Todd from the movie Little Big League. He played Mickey Scales, the second baseman. Tony, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you today?
Hi, like I told you earlier, I'm just kicking back being black, brother. Life is great.
Oh, yes. This is going to be a great time here.
How you guys doing? Doing?
We're doing good.
Good. Survive one stoplight. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So backstory there, I reached out to Tony a couple months ago, and he called me up, and we chatted for a little bit. He asked me about my hometown, and I told him there's one stoplight, and he had a blast with that. Every time we talk now, he brings that up. So I have a newborn son, and he's called me the last couple of days. My son's in the background crying. He goes, it's because there's only one stoplight in town. So,
but you missed something else. You forgot.
What did I forget?
You're famous for. Tell them what you're famous for.
What am I famous for?
Yeah, Brandon Mitchell. That's a brother name if I've ever heard one. Come on.
Come on, Brandon. You're better than that.
On. I am better than that. I did put on Facebook the other day on my personal account something along the lines of somebody has my name in their phone as Brandon the White Brother Mitchell. I want everybody to have that in their phone as my name.
There you go.
I don't think anybody's going to do it, though. So
mine just still has the cheapskate, so.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a cheapskate?
Oh, Tony, don't get me started, man. We'd be here.
No,
we'd miss the
hold up.
if we had to
hold
go
up,
through
hold up. You can't call him a cheapskate. Why can't he just be smart with his money?
Well, because I'm not smart with my money either. I'm a cheapskate.
Smart with his money either. He's a cheapskate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, he admits he's a cheapskate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. He's a cheapskate. Yeah.
It's because this is a rabbit trail already.
Hey,
it's because it's because when you go to Walmart or wherever and they ask you, do you want to round up? I always hit no. And he calls me a cheapskate for that.
I don't want to round up. I'm going to pay you what's there.
See, that's why they call me a cheapskate, because I don't round up.
Yeah, well, we don't have a Walmart around here. So
neither do I. I got to drive an hour for that, so.
You have to drive an hour to get to a Walmart? Where are you living? Are you serious?
Yeah,
I am dead serious.
He's dead
serious.
My,
you probably have no brothers in the area, right?
Nope.
You have to come out here, man. You gotta expand your horizons a little bit. It's a melting pot here in Santa Monica. You get every single race, man. So
eventually, I'd like to end up out there, not to live or anything like that, but to go visit.
A little off track.
Yeah.
Why don't we get back on track?
Yeah, let's
here?
get on. We didn't even start getting on track. So, all right, our first question for you today. You've told me the story, but it's a great story, so I want you to tell it to the podcast. How did you audition for Little Big League?
okay, the buddy and I, we were driving back we were coming from out of town, and we drove by the actual baseball field called Marine Park in Santa Monica. And as we were driving by, I see a bunch of baseball players on the field. Well, they look like baseball players. They were dressed in like jeans and t-shirt. You may have like 5 or 6 guys out on the jersey and pants and cleats. And I asked my buddy to pull over, so we pulled over. I went over there. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" They said they're casting for a baseball movie. Really? And at the time, I was not in the business. I was working for the city of Santa Monica. And so I went home. I put my uniform on, from college, and I went back down there and I just started asking questions. So, it's probably 200 guys, 250. And I was like, how can I get involved in this, right? So I asked them they said, no, you have to have an agent, blah, blah, blah. And you guys know what an L screen is, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, L screen is when they have batting practice, that's the screen that they throw and the guy throws behind them.
Okay, yep, that's what that's called, okay.
So they have the L screen up. So they were giving everyone like 10 swings. And I kept asking, let me get a shot. No. And as I was walking away, I don't know who it was, maybe Adam or Andy or someone from the production. They said, well, can you play? And I'm not tooting my own horn, but by the looks of things, the guys they had out there, trash. They were trash. And I was like, you give me a shot, I'll show you what I can do. I'm probably better than everyone you got out there. They said, well, we've been hearing that all day. I said, well, I'll just show you. So bottom line, they gave me a shot and hit the first 2 over the fence. And then they told me to run the first base. And back then I could run a little bit. I didn't stop at first. I ran all the way around home, the little pop-up slide. They're like, hey, come here. Can you come to Castle Rock tomorrow? I didn't know what Castle Rock was. They said we did movies like A Few Good Men with Harry Met Sally. So I go there the next day, and the casting director, she gives me, they're called sides, a portion of the script that you read. And I never read. I just read books. I never read with another person, beside me, well, opposite of me. So she's reading one part, I have to read the other part. And I never looked up when I was reading it. So she just basically told me, because I've never done this before. She told me to take it home and go over it. And then that time I called up one of my buddies who's an actor, and we went over it. And I went back the next day, and she thought it was 100% better. And then a few days later, I went back to read again for Steve Nicolaitis. And then they called me back in front of all the bigwigs. And then like 4 or 5 auditions later, they told me to stop reading. I got the part as Mickey Scales.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So it was very moving, because when I finished reading, and you can tell I get a little hyper. I like to have fun, So they said, have I ever been to Minnesota? And I was like, no. But I know Kirby Puckett's there, right? And then they said, oh, you got the part as Mickey Scales. And I just jumped out of the seat. I'm high-fiving everyone. That's how it happened. And then, a week later, I believe, I was leaving. So that's it.
That's sweet.
That's awesome.
Kind of reminds me of the Wesley Snipes character, Major League, when they throw the cut out and he outruns everyone. And
yeah. And he said, "What? I'm cut already, bro?" That's the line, right? I'm cut already.
Yeah.
And they got him in slow motion in front. That was incredible. That was
awesome.
Yeah.
So around this time, I think it was like 1990s, and that there were about 4 baseball family movies around that time. Little Big League, Angels in the Outfield, Rookie of the Year, and Sandlot. All of them are different, but they're by far, I would say, Little Big League had most of the baseball
right
in it. Did they ever tell you why they prioritized baseball players, or do you have a guess why they did it for this
Well,
movie?
no, I mean, I can watch a baseball movie, and as soon as they get to the baseball, I can tell you if it's going to suck. Because the first thing you should do is watch someone throw a baseball. That tells you everything. Oh, that movie's going to suck because the players that they hired are not baseball players. And I don't know if Mitch had mentioned this to you. The reason why we came out, because we came out like maybe a week after or 2 weeks after Angels in the Outfield. There was a plethora of baseball movies out there. It was just like, if we would have waited, this is my opinion. Um, see, Little Big League tested higher than any movie they had at Castle Rock, and that's why they brought it out so early. I don't know if John mentioned that to you.
I don't think he did.
I
No.
don't think he did. No.
Yeah, and so that's why we came out, and when you got something going back to back to back, because we were like the last movie to come out, right? So you're thinking, well, people are probably tired of watching baseball.
Yeah.
But if you'd have gave it a little bit of time, and I think that was the strike year as well, I believe. So
Yeah, it was.
yeah, so I just think that they did a great job casting the movie because they wanted everything to look authentic because you have real baseball players up there, you have real athletes out there, which was
Yeah.
it was incredible. It's just like, and we get paid for this. This is awesome. It was unbelievable.
One of the articles you've been sending me articles all week, and one of them I read. The crew kept on asking you what your name was. Did you actually keep saying Mickey Scales?
Well, I was asking, like I told you earlier, at the audition, I didn't know who I'm going to audition for, but a few guys kept saying Mickey Scales, right? The brothers, right?
Yeah.
And they asked me what my name was. Like, I'm the real Mickey Scales. Those guys, they were horrible, man. And and I don't know. They took a liking to me because I did put on the show out there on the field. So
Yeah. One of the things that we've learned from talking to people in the podcast is the baseball experience for majority of the actors in the movie. Leading up to the movie, what was your baseball career like?
oh wow, yeah. Well, coming out of Santa Monica High School, I was highly recruited. Played football and baseball. I had a full scholarship to University of USC, University of Southern California, Oklahoma, anywhere in the country. My senior year, this is stuff I hate talking about because this is the worst thing that ever happened to me in life. So my senior year, I break my ankle my second game of the season, and our team. You guys heard of probably Long Beach Poly?
Yep.
Yeah.
They were ranked number 1 in the nation at the time. And we just had a team that I've been playing with guys since Pop Warner football, 6, 7, 8 years old. And we knew we were going to be really good when we became, juniors and seniors in high school. So, and, I was a captain, and my other friend, Jeff Schaefer, he was a captain at the time. And then when I went down, my good friend who's now passed away, Dr. Stewart, he basically just took over my position. And he just had a great year. He gained like 1,500 yards, ended up being MVP. And, he's a great friend of mine. We've been knowing each other since we were, probably 6, 7 years old. And, but yeah, I could have went anywhere.
Well, it all worked out for you though. You've had a pretty fun life and a pretty fun career in movies. So,
yeah,
I'm gonna add on.
I would love to just have that 1 year back, that senior year.
Yep.
I was just curious because I was like, I want to get 2,000 yards. It would have been great. Right? And I think I could have made that happen. But, everything in life happens for a reason. At some point when you're 17 years old, that's the last thing you're thinking about. You're just thinking about right now. And, and I'll be honest with you, it was a blessing because, say it wasn't my ankle, it could have been my knee. I could have been paralyzed, anything like that. So I take it for a blessing now. I just wanted to see that my senior year, what would have came
Did
about.
you have a mindset of where you wanted to go for sure? I mean, I know you said you went to USC for sure.
Since I was born, I'm going to USC.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to be their starting running back, and I'm going to play center field on their baseball team. So, and then I thought it was like 80% comes to fruition, and then that night when that happened, it was like a dream. You wake up, you think you're dreaming, but you never, you know, you think you're going to wake up out of this dream, but no, this is happening. This is real life. But
Right.
that's life, brother.
Right.
Yep.
If it wasn't USC, was there any other school that like your second?
USC.
It was
Well,
always USC.
yeah, there was others. There's UCLA, Oklahoma, Nebraska. This is in the mid '80s, so you know, all the
Yeah.
top teams. But I've always been USC fan. You know.
Okay.
So,
You just mentioned that you were center field in baseball. In the movie, you played second base. Was that a position you played at all before at any level, or?
always, always played shortstop, center field. Center field in high school. It's just that was the position that needed to be filled. You know, if you're an athlete, play anywhere on the field. So, and it was great. I mean, they're not going to put me at shortstop when they have Kevin Nelson. You know, he's big leagues. But you know, I can go over there. And, you know, he can give me some flips, and I can get it over there to first. But yeah, it was a great time playing second base.
There's a scene in the movie where you're in the dugout with the wig and dancing.
Mhm.
Was that scripted or was it improvised?
No, in between breaks, we would always just dance. You know, where we would just dance. I don't. Ashley Crow's stand-in, I think she had a boombox, or someone had a boombox, so we would just dance all the time. So uh, this is funny. So I forget her name, but I know Ashley Crow's name. I asked Ashley's stand-in if I can borrow that wig, right? So we were just dancing in the dugout, and I was trying to do the moonwalk. I can't do it, right? And then I think Adam or Andy asked me if I would do that on camera. I was like, oh yeah, of course, why not? It made the movie, so that was awesome.
That's sweet. Was there any other improv that you got to do, or was it just kind of?
Oh, yeah. You remember the time? Remember I laid down the bunt? Paul Merrill, I think he missed me.
He just did.
Yeah, he missed. He did miss, and I just ran through the bag, and then I just came back. I was like, "Come on, bro, that's brutal. My mom can make that call. It's brutal." And then I guess they liked it. Adam liked it, and they kept it in the movie. And then that's when Luke said, "Hey, you ever heard of Search or something like that?" I thought that was great. So.
That's awesome.
So he missed the tag, is what I just heard. Then.
Yeah. Yep.
Pardon me?
He actually missed the tag. Palmero did not tag you.
No, he did not tag me.
Okay.
No, I would never came back like that. You know, I would have never, because he called me out. I said, you know, I'm coming back, and I'll just say whatever's on my mind. And you know, I didn't curse, so, which is great.
After O'Farrell got fired, he took things from the office, including toilet paper, all the pens, pencils, all that stuff. Everyone in baseball knows you. Have you seen or heard of any stories of managers doing something similar to that, or any fun stories that you would know of? Or
no, but if this was a week later, because you know I attend a bunch of Angel games because I have my friend who plays on the team, Carlos Estevez, and he's the closer, and my buddy's the third base coach, Eric Young, EY they call him. But I could have easily asked Ron Washington, like, "Hey, Ron, did this ever happen?" You know, and I'm pretty sure they had some stories, but I don't know personally. But I'll tell you this: next time I'm at the game, I will ask them that.
that's awesome.
So Minch kind of told us it wasn't his part of but one of his managers that got ejected. Do you remember any like famous ejections from like high school or anything?
No, because I'll be honest, we won all the time, so it was nothing to get upset about. You know, we won. You know, it was just like these guys just sit back and watch. You know, these guys perform, man. There's a lot of great talent that comes from Santa Monica, but I know Lou Piniella had a few blow ups, and what's the other guy's name? Manager Reggie Jackson used to fight with all the time.
What's his face? Billy Martin.
Yes, exactly. But I can only imagine. I mean, it's like, hey, but I wouldn't want that fine afterwards.
Right.
And I know Brandon would not want that fine because he's really cheap. So
yeah, he is. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're on this side of yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much for that.
Great.
Well, he already answered my question, Brandon. So why don't you just ask him the next one?
Yeah. So one thing that I mean, even at a young age, we realize this. There's a lot of MLB legends in this movie: Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr. You've sent me pictures with you and Junior and stuff like that. So I'm assuming you had a chance to chat with Junior.
Oh yeah,
So did Minch. But Minch told us that he didn't talk to Randy Johnson because he was just too intimidated by him. You seem like a very personal fella. Like you just walk up to anybody. Did you walk up to Randy Johnson and just chat with him?
I'm like, what's up, bro? I mean, he went to USC, so of course, I'm not. No one's going to intimidate me unless they have a gun in there. I mean, he literally has a gun, but it's a baseball. But no, I'm not. No. Yeah, I sat and talked with him, and when the movie was over, actually, my friend Charlie and I, we went to go to a few Mariners games, and I have photos in the locker room with him afterwards. So it's like, yeah. I'm not just. Hey, he puts his pants on just like me, bro.
Oh yeah.
He just throws like 100. I throw 0. So
He's also killed a bird with a ball. So
exactly, yes, yeah, and that would have killed a human too if it hit him in the right place.
like,
Yep.
yeah.
What was Junior like?
All the guys, everyone was so personable, man. I mean, Tim Raines, these are like my idols. I'm on the field with my idols. Tim Raines, you had Sandy Alomar, Pudge Rodriguez, Eric Anthony. He played with the Astros, and on and on and on. This was a blessing, man. Just to be in the same, facility. We're at the Metrodome, and to hang out with you guys and talk baseball. Come on. That's a good come through.
That's awesome. Do you have any uniforms or memorabilia from the movie?
No, I just gave everything back.
Is that a
no? Of course, I have my scales jersey like right over there. You want to see it? Yeah, I just have the scales jersey, and that's it. And Griffey gave me some really nice bats, signed them, and this was like after the movie because we became friends, and like I said, Charlie and I, we would go visit them in Seattle, and I have a great story though. One time, Charlie and I were sitting there right in the front row, and Ken looked at Charlie, and Charlie looked at Ken, and he gave him like a signal. He's like, "They'll hit a home run," and it actually happened. That happened, yes. And I have that photo somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great. You said in an interview that Little Big League was the best experience you had on set, and with our conversations that we've had with you and John, and even Michael Papajohn to an extent, I get the same sense from all three of you guys that this was just a special movie. What made this set so special for everybody? Because it seems like, 30 years later, and you guys are still in contact. Like, is that normal for movies? And
no, not at all. But when you end up meeting someone, and all these guys, Papa John, incredible, played, college baseball World Series, and just a great guy. We're all ex-athletes, so we all got along, man. There was no animosity with anyone on that set, and we just had such a great time. And and John Minch, he's like the nicest guy in the world, and and I still, just the other day, I spoke with Luke Edwards, and I'm talking to him like he's still this 12, 13-year-old kid. He's like, he's 44 now. I was just like, he's getting ready to get his ARP in a few years. So I'm like, can you imagine that, man? I was just like, wow. But no, it was just great. Like I said, I give it up to Andy, Adam, everyone at Castle Rock Warner Brothers. They just put a group of guys together, man. It was such a great time. Every day was fun. And this was before cell phones.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
How old were you when the movie was recorded? And
I'm giving away my secrets now. Come on, man. Come on, Brad. Good black don't crack.
All right, I'll ask listen, what's the age gap between you and Luke? Because we talked to John, and John said he didn't really interact too much with Luke because there was that age gap with him and Luke.
Oh, no, I would always hang out with, him and Miles. The kids are great, man. I love kids. I don't have them myself. But, I was old, and I'm old now.
Older.
Like I said, but good black don't crack, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
What was it like working with, because they have the child labor laws, and was that difficult at all for you on set at times, or? Did it
No,
like
no,
extend the
there's certain.
hours?
I'm sorry. Yeah, there's certain hours that they have. They cannot work, and we
Yeah.
would just work around that.
Okay.
Uh, the scenes that Luke were not in, we would just do the baseball stuff. And then when he would show up on set, we would just do all of his scenes.
Okay. I lost my spot, Brandon. So if you have it, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
got the next one. Not Little Big League related, but you were a stunt double in the Black Panther movies. Chadwick was a first base or starred as Jackie Robinson in 42. Another great baseball film right there.
Yeah.
Did you have any interactions with him on set? And did you guys talk about baseball, Jackie, or anything along those lines?
Well, of course, yeah, but I should have been playing Jackie. I actually played Jackie in the movie Cold Case. Still to this day, I'm so upset. I still have not seen 42 because I should have been Jackie. They wouldn't need a stunt double. I can throw, I can run, I can hit. It's just like, but I did speak to Chad about it. We actually, because I don't know if I told you, Brandon, that how I got the part of being a stunt double in Black Panther. So my good friend Lisa Satriano, who I went to school with at Santa Monica High School, she's the first AD director, like Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man, Straight Outta Compton, all the big movies. So, and her and I, we were on the same like Little League team, right? So she reached out to me and she's like, she called me one day. Well, she sent me a text. That's what you guys do now. Sends me a text. And she's like, "Hey, Tony Todd, is it still you?" And I had worked with her on the movie 17 again, but what's the guy's name?
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron, yeah. And they filmed that movie at my high school, Santa Monica High. So I was the referee in that movie. So Lisa, she hired me for that. I didn't speak to her for like, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years later. And she sends me this text. She's like, "Hey, Tony Todd, is this still your number?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I said, and I sent her a text of myself. You see, I like to play around with me and Ronald McDonald like this. She's like, "Stop playing around. I just want to know if you want to be a stunt actor in my movie Marvel's Black Panther." I was like, "Oh, that would be incredible." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, she said, "Okay, well, someone's going to be calling you around about 2-3 hours." As soon as I hang up the phone, it's a true story. About 2 minutes later, the lady called me and said, "Hey, Tony Todd, you have a first class flight to Atlanta, Georgia. Leaves at 6 p.m." And this was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was staying at my friend's house at the time. And I said, "I'm out of here." And I came back 5 minutes later, man. But she didn't tell me you had to go through all that training. We had to go to boot camp for like 3.5 weeks, 6 a.m. to like 6 p.m., 1 hour break, push-ups, sit-ups, flips, running. Oh, man. I was sweating like a Hershey bar. Yeah.
All right.
Did you?
Go
Go ahead.
ahead, Brandon. No, you got it.
Did you audition for?
I was going to tell you, but that was the second best time I have on a set, because just the fact that you're working. I knew this was going to be historical, and end up being one of the biggest box office movies of all time, and say I was a part of that. That's very rewarding to myself, and I actually won a stunt award as well, which is kind of cool. So,
Well, that's awesome.
yeah.
You mentioned that you were bitter that you didn't play Jackie Robinson in 42. Did you actually audition for that role?
Yeah, but I don't want to call people out, man. I'm just like, I'm trying to be nice.
No.
Well, they had the auditions at UCLA, right?
Yep.
UCLA, right? And my buddy, you guys ever see Moneyball?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Grady Fuson, the scout, played by Ken Metlock. He was the scout in there.
Okay.
He was my college baseball coach, and I think he was throwing batting practice to the actors down there. He's like, "Tony, you got to get down here. You should be playing Jackie." I was like, "Yeah, I know that." And I had a friend in the business. I'm not going to mention any names. That he was very friendly. He represented the director, right? He represented the director of the movie, and all I need, just let me meet him for 5 minutes, man. Let me meet the guy for 5 minutes, and you really find out who your friends are when crunch time comes. So that did not happen. So at the last minute, I get an audition with the casting director. It's like, come on, if I represent the director, I want to introduce you to the director, not the casting director, right?
Right.
So I walked in there. It's a true story. I walk in. I'm getting ready to audition. Chadwick's photo's already up on the wall with his uniform on. Are you kidding me? No. And then afterwards, they had the audacity to call me and say, "Hey, would you like to be a stunt double?" And no. So that means I do all the hitting, the running, the sliding. It's like, no, I look back, I should have did it. But it's just like, that's like a slap in my face, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is. I mean, I heard the movie was great. He did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
The stunt double did a great job, whoever did the baseball stuff for him. But on set, on Black Panther, I actually played catch with him. Because I would
that's
bring
awesome.
I always bring, every time I go on the set, I bring like 2 gloves. Just so I could just burn someone's hands up. So, but we did play catch and we talked about it.
That's awesome. So Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith has called you the greatest celebrity softball player ever. How many celebrity All-Star games have you played in, and what was your favorite one?
My favorite one is when I think it was in Houston when it was Harold Reynolds, Kenny Mayne, and Ozzie, and I made a catch on the sideline and just ran through some stuff. And Ozzie Smith was on live TV on Fox or ESPN, one of them, and he said, "Tony Todd's by far the best player." I just stopped playing softball after that. I don't need to play. Do I need to play after that?
No,
Nope.
not
No.
Did you get
Hall
that
of Fame.
compliment?
Hall of Fame is-
Yeah.
No, but I hope I can play this year. I hope they reach out, but if they don't, no biggie, you know.
Hey, we'll try to put in a good word.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, all the people that we know. So
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
we're looking out for you.
Yeah, it's in
So-
Texas this year.
Have they reached out to you in the last couple of years to play, or since you haven't played in a few years, have they stopped reaching out to you?
No, one time, but I was working at a project at the time, so it's all
Okay.
time based. It's
Yeah.
all time based. But this year, because I hope they reach out this year, because I have a friend who's one of the owners of the Texas Rangers, Mill Leakman. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, just talk to your friend and be like, "Hey, bro, I want in the All-Star game." Like,
Yeah, but it's not his decision to make because he just owns it, you know. But we'll see what happens. If it's meant to be, it happens. I'm not gonna push myself. So they don't want me there. They don't want me there. I don't care. I already played with, and the game has totally changed. I've been on the field with Ozzie Smith, Dave Winfield, Fred Lynn, Raleigh Fingers. It's a plethora of just guys, and it's just to be on the field with them is just like unbelievable. That's like a one-time chance in life that would happen.
yeah.
It's always my favorite celebrity game is to watch the softball game.
Which
without a
one?
doubt. The baseball celebrity game. Just watching that.
Yeah, those
it's
guys
always
are
fun.
horrible. Not the
the actors in
rappers
that,
they
but-
bring in and whoever. I don't know. It's like, if I played that bad, I would never put myself out there like that. There's no way, because that's on film, man. It's like, no, I could not do it. That's like telling me to go, oh, I can do everything except pole ball. I'm not gonna go out there and try to pole ball and someone's videotape it. It's like, no. What's going to make the news? Not me going over. It's like me screwing up, correct?
Yep.
I mean, yeah. You got a point there.
Yeah.
So with the Celebrity All-Star game, you've probably visited a few MLB stadiums. Personal goal of mine is to visit all the stadiums. How many have you been to, and what's your favorite stadium you've been able to visit
Every single
so far?
one, bro. Every single
Really?
one. Yeah, years ago. But it was kind of cool because the stadiums I wanted to go to, and I didn't have to. I'm being like Brandon now. I'm be cheap about it. I don't have to come out of my pocket because we went when we filmed Little Big League. We went to Fenway. And I've always wanted to go to Fenway. That was unbelievable, just the history, right?
Yeah.
Comiskey Park, and yeah, but Fenway was on my bucket list, and that I completed them like years ago. But my favorite, I can't discriminate against right down the street here, Dodger Stadium. But I'll be honest with you, I really enjoyed Fenway. That would probably Fenway or Chicago Cubs.
Wrigley.
But those are the three oldest stadiums: Chicago, Fenway, and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then now they just built these things now are like incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, have you been to the new Texas Rangers Stadium?
No, not yet.
Oh yeah, that's really nice, man. I had the opportunity to go when the Dodgers won. Was it 2020? When they had like 10 games for the whole season. And they played in the World Series. Yeah. I was invited to attend that, so I went with a friend of mine, Ross, and it was nice. That stadium was really, really beautiful.
That was nearly open, the stadium, I believe, and
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was. But it felt like a Dodger home game.
Yep.
It felt like a Dodger home game. And when I get off the air here, I'll send you the video from that day. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Speaking of Dodger Stadium and that, what was your favorite baseball team, and what was your favorite player growing up? And are they still? Well, I guess is the team still your current favorite, or have you moved on from them?
Moved on? Come on, man. Moving on from greatness. No. It will always be the Dodgers. And growing up, I loved Ron Say, Steve Garvey, Bill Russell, Davey Lopes, and you got to look up this name, Jimmy Wynn. They called him the Toy Cannon. He played for the Dodgers. Look that name up. Yeah, but my all-time favorite player, by far, is probably Griffey. And I like Kenny Lofton a bunch. I love Kenny's game. Like those two guys.
Yeah.
And guys that are gone now, Jackie Robinson, Wooly, the Babe, of course. But the Babe didn't play against all the best talent,
No.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to meet Willie Mays?
Did I ever get to meet Willie Mays? Yeah. Yeah, I went to the Hall of. Yes, I went to the Hall. I had the opportunity to attend the Hall of Fame induction for Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin invited myself and Charlie, and we went and we stayed in the actual same hotel as all the players. I had some great photos with name a guy, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Yogi Berra, you name it. I have a photo with him. So it was kind of cool to be in that kind of company.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Who's your favorite player all the time?
That's a tough on the spot.
Junior is
Huh?
definitely Junior was one of mine. Well, unfortunately I saw him on his injury prone back half of his, but
Yeah.
I've always liked him, always imitated his swing, in his backyard, obviously.
Yeah, in the backyard, that's about it, because you can't perfect that. That's a whole different breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm only saying this, and I hate to say it because you're Dodger, but Jeter's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Jeter's awesome.
I live in his hometown, so.
Oh, you do?
Well,
Yeah.
where he went to high school and graduated and all that. So.
Oh, same high school?
Nope. No, I didn't graduate same high school. I just lived down the road from it. So, but
Yeah,
I've always liked the captain. So.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Had an opportunity. Last World Series he played in, he gave me his actual batting gloves. So.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I have them right there. I can send them to you, but you have to send them back.
Hey, I will. I'll take a photo and then send them right back to you.
Well, how about you just take the photo? But do you guys edit this or no?
I will do a little bit of editing based on.
I can run in there and get the thing. You can take a photo. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'm not right there. So I will send them back to you. I will pay that extra to get them back to you. Overnight them, whatever. I'll pay all of it. All right. I'm not like
Maybe I'll just show up with them, man. Yeah.
that.
The next thing you know, Alex is missing. I'm calling Brandon. Brandon's like, "Where's Alex?" He said, "I don't know, man. I don't know. He moved to California." I'm like, yeah, right.
I don't think his wife would let him, but I guess I could be wrong on that one.
Wow. He said, "Let him." Okay.
Yeah, we all know the boys are the bosses.
I'll let you tell it.
So,
I'll
Brandon,
let you.
who's your favorite?
Yeah, I would.
What?
So my favorite player, as a Tigers fan, I was growing up watching Verlander, the dominance of Verlander. Can't go wrong there. And I didn't really watch. I mean, I watched baseball and stuff like that. Obviously, historical players. I don't really have a favorite of historical, but non-Tigers player growing up, it was Joe Mauer. I just always loved Joe Mauer, the way he played the way he played the game.
Great athlete too.
Yeah.
Great athlete.
Killed us.
Basketball and,
Yeah.
and football.
And one of the biggest personalities I enjoy is Joey Votto.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Joey's
Yeah.
great. Joey's great. Joey's great. I was gonna ask you something, Brandon.
Yes, he is a cheapskate. Yes.
What'd you say?
Yes, he is a cheapskate. Yes.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, does it hurt when you put your hand in the pocket, or you don't even put your hands in your pocket, right, Brandon? Does he ever pick the bill up for you, Alex?
No.
No.
Okay, no.
You know how many
Alex,
times I had to buy pizza and stuff?
shut up.
Yeah,
Alex, no, Alex would come over to my parents' house every Friday night with a couple of other friends, and we'd always order pizza. And usually I'd be the one paying for it, and they would still tell me I never paid for it. It was ridiculous.
It's
To
'cause you
this
never
day.
paid for it.
Well, he
That's
would
right, but-
remember if you paid for it, Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon, he would remember if you paid for it.
Thank you. Finally. Maybe
I
he
just-
just needs to hear it from you.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So Brandon, when did this
Yeah.
all start? It just started as a youth. You just didn't get what you wanted. You're just like, hey, I'm not gonna share it with anyone. You're a saver, or what's the deal? How'd this happen? Your mom that way? Your dad that way? What happened? What? You can
We're
tell me.
waiting, Brandon. Yeah, come on, we're waiting.
I'm not a cheapskate. It's Alex and I have been best friends for probably like 15, 16 years now. And
Yeah.
this is our relationship where we just rip on each other all the time. We make up things like cheapskate and whatever else. And
Well, we don't make up things. We state things that are true, like you are.
But
a cheapskate.
right. But Brandon, you admitted you're a cheapskate.
oh yes, because their evidence is because I don't round up when we go to a store. Like that's why because I got married last June, and do you remember what my total was at the store? It was like 98 cents or something like that.
98 cents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they go, "Do you want to round up?" And I go, "No." And then one of my groomsmen bought something after me, and his total was like $1.07 or whatever. And he goes, "I'm not a cheapskate." Yes. And so ever since
Wow.
then,
But see, I would just take that change and just throw it in the sparklets bottle or something.
yeah, I used my card, so I didn't have any change to throw into anything. So,
Oh, okay.
but that's why he calls me a cheapskate, because I will not round up at the Walmarts and the stores. That's why he calls me a cheapskate, because I don't round up.
Wow.
But I buy him food whenever I see him, and we always take care of each other. So he's coming up to my house next week, and I'm making.
That true? Alex, is that true?
He's gonna lie through his teeth.
I plead the fifth.
What'd you say?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, so it's really not true.
But he's coming up next week. He's coming over to my house. I'm gonna make him dinner. So
Wait,
I
you gonna
take
make
care
him
of him.
dinner or your wife gonna make him dinner?
No, I'm gonna make the dinner.
Oh, can he cook? Alex, can he cook?
He does. I will give him credit. He does make a pretty mean pizza.
A pretty mean pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
So
want
the
a heart
dough.
attack? You want a heart
soft.
attack? You get some Brandon pizza if you want a heart attack. I'll just put it that way.
Wow. What do you put on it, Brandon?
Meat. All the meat.
Oh, okay.
All of the meat.
Just all meat.
Straight up.
Wow. See, we should meet up one day at like some park, like halfway, I don't know. Where do you guys live?
We're in Michigan. Both of us are. We're on both ends of the state. Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy lives in Michigan in the summertime. Anthony Powell, broadcaster, news broadcaster. He's from Malibu, California. but in the summertime, he has I guess, something unbelievable in Michigan. Maybe I'll connect you guys. He's a good guy. We played high school football together. He's one of my linemen.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, we're open to that. Any connections we will take.
Yeah, you
Yep.
guys fish? You fish?
I do some fishing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. I went one time, caught a marlin.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
I've not caught a marlin.
Well, it was in Costa Rica. We were on this, big,
Come on, Brandon. He ain't cheap.
yeah. Well, it wasn't my boat.
Hey,
It's cheap.
we don't need to talk about that part.
That's funny.
But
So,
yeah.
can you believe it's been 30 years, man? That's
Well, I know it's
crazy.
30. We're talking to you on June 29th, which is the 30th anniversary of Little Big League. You've had me get in contact with the Minnesota State Board for movies, and I have had friends and family contact them too. We're trying. So if you guys are out there listening to this, I'll put a link in the description for them. Shoot them an email, give them a call saying we need a reunion for Little Big League. Make this happen.
Yes.
If it does happen, me and Alex will go to Minnesota, or me for sure. I don't know if he'll have time to, but I've already told my wife. My wife told me if this happens, you're going.
Yeah,
Wow.
So
yes.
yeah,
That's a great
Brandon,
friend.
I will buy you
think
tickets.
Don't you think it should happen? I mean, just to get.
Oh yeah.
If just have one screening at one
Yeah.
theater, just to get all the guys back. I mean,
Yeah.
I know a few guys on the Twins. I could just invite them. I mean, just call them up and say, "Hey, do you guys show up?" I'm pretty sure they would. I mean,
Yeah.
it is about the Minnesota Twins. But
Mm-hmm.
if not, I believe in karma as well.
Yeah, I've started commenting on Minnesota Twins posts. Hey, you guys can do something for the Little Big League guys. So
Yeah.
we're trying to get something for you guys.
Well, we'll
We're trying-
see. It would be awesome. If not, I mean, life goes on. I mean, it's no big deal. But it's just like you give your hard-earned sweat out there to Minneapolis, and you think that they would want to return the favor. I mean, it's been 30-year anniversary would be unbelievable. And you can get the announcer back. I just spoke to John Holland. That's his name, right? John Holland.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, that's him. I spoke to him the other day. He said he would love to do it. Ashley Crow and of course John Minch and just phone calls. And it would just be nice because the next generation, they can just carry it on as well. They can just carry the torch, because I'm pretty sure there's millions of kids that have not seen Little Big League, in Minnesota. It would just be a great evening. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like Brandon said, we've been talking about it. Something ever comes up, we're definitely taking the podcast on the road and going out there.
Yep.
Oh, that would be unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
That would be unbelievable.
Yeah. So I see you have a Golden Glove behind you there. What's the story behind that?
I just found it. No, it's actually it's a prop for my podcast. I have a podcast called Throwing Heat, where I like to interview a bunch of Hall of Famers. But it was my present to Charlie for his 50th birthday. So I gave that to him. And I reached out to the people at Rollins and they helped me out with it. And that's what happened. And now it's here.
Heck yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, for the podcast. So
yeah, and
and see Joe Boo right there too. See that?
Is that the little guy from Major League that Serrano had?
That's my favorite baseball movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No. You know what? No, you guys are probably too young. Did you guys ever see the Bad News Bears, the original one?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I've seen it, yeah.
Alex, you have to see the original Bad News Bears, man. That was pretty cool. And they had one brother in there. I was like, of course, I'm pissed. Why wasn't that me? I was about 10 years old. And I was just like, wow, that would have been cool to be that guy in that movie, man. Bad News Bears. That was a great baseball movie as well. So, but my favorite by far is Major League.
It is also a great movie.
Yeah. So you keep on mentioning Ashley, who played Luke's mom in the movie. She has a son now. I can't think of his name right now, but he's a top prospect with the Cubs. I've seen online. Yeah, yeah, that. Yeah,
Come on,
Pete Carroll
Brandon.
Armstrong.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I even knew that.
Well, but anyways, you've met him. What's he like? Like, I mean,
just incredible. I watched him play all through high school at Harvard Westlake. It was unbelievable. Just his motors just and his baseball IQ was just so immaculate. This guy can do things on a baseball field. That's just he can run. I mean, when he got called up last year, I think he made top plays that night, the day he got called up, because he made 2 unbelievable catches in center field that were unbelievable. And he's there now, and he's going to find his place, man. Seriously.
yeah.
He's that talented, and he's such a great guy too. And his mom and dad, they're just great people. Great people.
It's really cool having somebody from the movie have a kid 30 years later, in Major League Baseball. It's just awesome.
That's so awesome, man. That's awesome. And then it's kind of cool because someone interviewed Pete, and they said, "Oh, was it like, watching your mom, big leagues?" Like, yeah, it's so cool because I got to meet some of the guys who I still stay in touch with. And he mentioned my name. I was like, man, that's huge.
That's awesome.
I'm like, thanks, Pete. That was kind of cool,
Thanks for the shout out.
I've interviewed him as well because I used to do interviews for Topps Trading Cards, so I would interview a bunch of the players. And he's just, I wish him nothing but the best, man. He's a great kid, and I love his mom and dad.
Do you have any Topps collectible cards? Yeah, that's what I like to see.
Is that you and Charlie?
It's all the one you need.
Awesome.
And that concludes our interview with Tony Todd. Tony, thank you so much for coming on with us. We had a great time with you. Like I said, we've had a blast get to know you the last month or so, or a few months, I should say. Alex and I have been talking nonstop about this interview since basically it happened, or actually since I told him that we were going to be talking to Tony. We've both been so excited about this, and this interview was just a blast to do. Again, thank you, Tony. Thank you, John, for putting us in contact with Tony. We have a third person from Little Big League that we were trying to schedule that John also put us in contact with. Nothing's official yet, but there is momentum going towards him being on the show. So we're hoping we can get him on here in the next couple weeks. No promises, though. But thank you guys so much for checking us out. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like us on Facebook and Instagram. Links for those are in the description. If not, please subscribe. If you have not yet, please subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify and wherever else you get your podcast. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great day. And if you haven't yet, go watch Little Big League. It's a good movie. And the cast are great people. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day.